So we've had a change of direction with the Mk3 Focus RS build. Now before I get into that, I'm just going to run through a couple of the other bits that we've added to the job card thanks to the customer. Now the vehicle itself didn't really have any modifications on it when it was sold by the dealer, so he's decided that he's going to take advantage of this opportunity and go with possibly a stage 2 software solution. Now to run that, we're going to need a front mount intercooler, which has kindly been provided by 𝗕𝗏𝗧𝒭 Motorsport. Now he has paid for this, they haven't given it to him, but we have sorted him out with a bit of discount off it. We will also need a full exhaust system, so the customer's sourcing his own, hopefully, well maybe anyway, sourcing his own sports cat after watching some GCM videos, and I believe it's already got a catback exhaust system that has been fitted recently to it. Alongside an induction kit which we'll need to source for it. The customer hasn't decided yet which option he wants to go for. But coupled with that, just something we wanted to point out, that it's not only the bits that you think about in association with an engine failure that you need to look at, but also bits of transmission, etc. that's around it. So what we have found is that when we've removed the clutch from the vehicle, we've found that this clutch is particularly worn. The friction plate itself is worn down on the edges on both sides. There's heat marks on both the basket or the pressure plate and the flywheel itself, and excessive movement. So we're going to need to replace that. As usual, we're turning to our trusted source for this particular part, which is RTS. So we're fitting a twin friction material paddle one side and organic the other side to this Focus RS Mk3. Now you'll see that in a later video, so watch out for that. So I thought I'd take a moment to interrupt the video because for once I thought this would be a unique opportunity to go through some of the previous comments on some of the other videos and just discuss them a bit. The first one I really want to start with is Martin Yates' comment on the Send It video. Great video. I've just had my third engine fitted by Ford, had it from new in 2017, done 17,000 miles and 3 engines. Think it's got to be sold now. Well, that just sums it all up. We know vehicles or owners that have had their vehicles that have done, you know, less than 10,000 miles and have had more than one engine fitted. So yeah, really appreciate everyone's time to comment, and if I don't read yours out, then it's for nothing other than the fact I haven't seen it. All I can say is screw that. Just getting an ST, the RS, always has a problem. Over-engineered, cheap engines, people keep remapping them, boosting in them, and then blowing them up. There was a bit of an expletive before that, but I'm not going to read it out. They don't have the basic engineering knowledge to own these cars. The bloody cars are cool. Oh, I'm going to have to stop reading that one. But anyway, the long and the short of that is that this person, 𝗕𝗏𝗪, is suggesting that this was something to do with the owner, essentially, in misuse. I want to open up the thread on that one, really, and the fact that many people have commented that they've had standard motors. These guys that are commenting on this thread have had these cars for 3 or 4 years, maybe even 5 years, and had more than one engine. I'm sure that not every single one of them has thrashed it to within an inch of its life. Another more positive comment here from 𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗏. Hopefully that's the way you say it. I've had mine over 3 years now, running an MST 520, fully forged engine and box. All the upgrades run smooth as a nut. Lovely, love it. Great, very fast car. Shame to hear this has happened. Well, yeah, it's you know, it's not every car, not every single car that's going to have an issue, but there are a multitude of owners with issues. Great engineered car, but ownership really poor. I've had both issues, both gone. Never again. Mk2 far superior. That's from Gary Morris. Great comment again. Someone else has responded to that. The Mk2 is a worse car in every way, bar the engine, which is also not infallible. Yeah, track time videos, I totally agree the Mk2 isn't infallible, but I think that the time it took for the problems to arise, like cracked liners and cracked pistons and stuff like that, was, you know, further down the line of ownership. So at least people got some enjoyment out of the car before suffering these things. Some of these comments I haven't seen before, so I'm actually liking them and comment. Well, I haven't commented yet, but I will do at some point. Majestic performance. It's got to be heartbreaking for the guy to buy a dream car and to have it grenade itself in such a manner. Got to give credit to the dealer though for stepping up and offering to cover a percentage of the cost. It may not be a lot, but at the end of the day he could have said it's down to warranty company to deal with. You'd expect once these get up in mileage, those that haven't been checked or had a failure will go as well. So it's a model people should do their homework on before purchasing. An £8,000 bill after spending 20 to 30 grand for some would mean they're left with a four-wheel drive paperweight given the current economic uncertainty. Totally agree, Mike. I do know Mike from Majestic Performance. Totally agree, absolutely. Really valid point. You know, for some people this would have been the end of the car or ended up with them selling them. I'm not going to read out all the comments that say that we're doing a good job or anything, just because that would be a bit odd of me. Andy R500, another British gas van off the road. VAG wins every time. I wonder what he drives. Jimmy JT16 should not be happening on a performance car of this age, and what ultimately put me off having one. Such a shame. And he's got a VAG in his profile picture. Fair play. Thanks for the comment. What was the oil like? Looks like oil starvation. Well, there was no oil left, essentially. I'm actually going to reply to that. The hole in the sump was that big that there was never going to be anything really remaining in it. What did remain was probably, you know, the remnants of what had been inside a 60,000 mile car. We need to remember that it's done 60,000 miles. But for now, I think I'm going to leave it at that, just because I don't want to bore you guys. But if you want to see me do something like this in a future video, just going through some of the best comments, next time I'll be more prepared and I'll pick out some of the best comments. Maybe we do a Q&A at some point. I'm not sure yet, but if you enjoy this sort of thing, me responding to the comments, I do try as much as I can, or the team try, should I say, to respond to as many of these comments as we can. We're getting far more kind of interaction on it now, so it is becoming a struggle to get to each and every one of you, especially when you're responding at different times of day and night. So if I've missed you, or if we've missed you as a team, it's not because we're ignoring it, it's just because we're so busy. Remember, we've got customers to look after in the day as well, so we need to be mindful of that. But I'll let you get back to the action, and if you've enjoyed this, let us know in the comments down below, and hopefully we'll do this again for you. So what have we got coming? Well, we've got a 2-litre block with forged internals. That's the direction we're going for. Now, run back a bit into one of the other videos, and I mentioned this would be an expensive option for the customer. So what I mean by that is he would have had to have sourced a donor block, another head, another sump. That would have all added up. Then he'd have needed the crank and the internals themselves. So what we've done is we've located an already built, slightly used engine, which we know is good, and we're going to install that into his engine bay alongside his existing parts. We're then going to bolt the replacement clutch and flywheel option, so we'll have a Ford genuine flywheel along with the bolts and an RTS clutch, pressure plate and basket to go alongside it, to hopefully take the power that he's going to go for with this AirTech front mount intercooler full exhaust system, an induction kit, and whatever software route we choose to go down. So stay tuned to make sure that you watch the updates. We're going to be removing the engine from the other vehicle, installing it into this one with the clutch itself and the other performance modifications. And then we'll go from there, and we'll hopefully give you one final update where we choose the software and the customer gets to go out for a first drive in this vehicle. Now, if you've got a vehicle like this that you've had an issue with, what we're looking to do is compile some information so that we can provide to people of failures. Now, in the comments in the videos, some of you have already got in touch and explained your own engine issues, surrounded issues with your Focus RS Mark III, feel free to email us at wrexham@bdperformance.co.uk and let us know, and hopefully we'll be able to compile a list whether we can get this onto one of the forums. If you know a way of doing that, or if you're from an RS Mark III forum and you've already got some information, then please do get in touch. We'd just like to get this information out there, see what state of tune was on the vehicle, if any, when it failed, and what sort of issue you had, just so that we can see whether this is a completely common fault, whether it isn't, whether there's any association we can make with service schedules, etc. This vehicle here did have a service schedule with it. We didn't have that available to us at the time, but we've now seen sight of it and it was serviced. So as I say, some of the questions that we've got on some of the videos surrounding the exact information about this car asked us how many miles it's done. We did mention it in a previous video. It done just under 60,000 miles. When it came to us, obviously it wasn't running. We couldn't really assess anything about it other than assess what had happened to the engine. And you will have seen in the previous video that we assessed the damage in the Send It video. We assessed the physical damage to the engine itself. But if you haven't already, then please consider subscribing to the channel. I can never get that word out. Comment down below if you've had a similar issue. Send us some information if you could. Like the video if you enjoy this sort of content. Keep watching the channel. Watch out for that track 𝗕𝗓 build. We've got some great stuff coming up for that. We've got more content to come for this, as I say, this engine swap itself. And then the first drive video. So I hope you've enjoyed this stuff. It makes it interesting for us in a day, and I'm sure that many of you enjoy it. That's probably why you've subscribed. If you don't enjoy it, then please pass us by. Don't think we'll get offended. Any constructive criticism, place in the comments down below. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay safe, and hopefully this pandemic will be over soon. I'm sick of saying that. Cheers, guys.